Well, hello, welcome back. I'm Claire, this is Purple Poppy, and this is our field notes, our Roxy's Journal of Stitchery. Now, when I was with you last time, I had done the stamping and I'd laid down my lake, and I'd done this little bit of landmass here with the needle weaving, and I said I would finish it and we'd come back and do the ball. Well, I was finishing it and I just got carried away and I just kept going, so I do apologise. But basically all I've done is I've just done this creamy brown stitch, and then I used some of that felted thick wool and just trimmed to represent the bulrushes, and then I used two of the sheepies just to do basically long stitches and little tiny sort of lazy daisy to create some grasses. I need more grass, excuse me, and I haven't used this colour yet. This is again the Sheepy's Sweet Treats, and this is number 514. It's a lovely bright green, ideal for summer. So I'm just going to pull some of this off. Always loads, always getting told off for it. Let's see if we can thread this needle without any major hoo-ha that we usually have, goodness me. And I'm hoping that I've got the book in the right camera position. No, it's not going to thread, for goodness sake. I don't know if I've got out a different needle, because I don't usually struggle to thread these milliner's needles, but for some reason the last few videos I've really struggled, so I'm thinking that this is obviously not one of those needles. This is a stray needle that I've just picked up from somewhere that's just not working very well for me for some reason. Look, so I'm going to abandon that, and I'm going to take this wide needle and I'm going to use this one, because you do not want to spend the whole video watching me trying to thread needles, do you? It's ridiculous. Right, so I'm going to get a knot, and I'm just going to start down the bottom here in sort of the middle of my landmass, because these ones tended to be on the edge, and I'm just going to pull through, and I'm going to carry on doing these like long diagonal stitches just to represent mounds of grass, really. Now this is much lighter and you can't see it so well on all that other green as you can those really dark ones. So I'm going to make sure I go into the blue so that you can definitely see them. I'm deliberately working in threes. It's my thing, 3s and 5s when it comes to nature. So how are you all? How are you getting on with your prompt number 3 for, no, prompt number 2 for summer, isn't it? Not 3. And I think now it's sort of coming together, isn't it? It's looking much more like a pond with grasses, which was obviously the idea. Not a pond, a lake, Claire. And then in a minute I'm going to tackle that dragonfly, and I've got some super silvery blue thread to use for that. So there's our grasses around the edge. We'll close this off. Look at the mess of the back. Lots of to-ing and fro-ing gone on, that's why. Trim that. And then I'm going to turn the whole thing upside down. What is the crazy woman doing now, I hear you say? I want to do some more of these like grass stitches. Now this is something that I picked up from Jennifer Clouston, and I just love how they come out. So she says if you do a little tiny lazy daisy, come almost back down where you came up, a little tiny one, wrap your thread around, you know how to do a lazy daisy, and then when you've got that stitch, go on the diagonal, and that's how you get that particular grass stitch that I was doing there. So then come back up to about there, your wool's getting caught around my bum, not wool, thread. Okay, so little tiny lazy daisy round, and my needle is going in direction that I want the stalk to go in. She tells you that's very important. In there, and then have one poking right the way over there, like that. So to the right of the thread, little stitch through, and then down to there, and then we'll have a grass come there, and one come there, and then quite a tall one up there. There you go. So that's another one of them in a slightly different colour. And now let's have a look at this dragonfly. I don't think I have, because I use a stamp, I don't think it's going to be big enough to actually stitch the whole thing. Well, not for my clumsy hands anyway. I'm sure if you have much smaller hands, you'd be alright. Now I've got this beautiful silvery blue thread. I think that's going to make a pretty good dragonfly. What do you reckon? So hopefully this giant hole will thread with this, because it's quite thick. Oh god, here we go again. Do you know, this yarn needle threading is starting to drive me insane. It's enough to make a girl give up stitching, I tell you. Right, we are in. Okay, we better hope it. Oh, that fly! There's a fly in here and it's driving me mad. It keeps landing on me. Obviously thinks I'm some kind of flower. Right, turn it upside down, I think, because it's going to make it easier. And where are we going to start? We're going to start with that pincer that's all the way out there. Oh, I've got the thread caught around my scissors, take no notice. Couldn't go any more wrong really, could it? Right. Okay, so we're going to do a stitch to there. Actually, do you know what I think I'm going to do? I think I'm going to stitch all the way around the edge and then see about possibly doing a satin stitch to fill in his head and body. Like so. So run it all the way around the edge. Oh, it does shine beautifully, doesn't it? So now we're coming across his wings, and then I'm wondering if I'm going to fill in his body with a form of satin stitch, if we could just do some of the veins in his wings, some of the structure lines, rather than trying to do it all, because I think it's just going to become a mess, to be honest with you. And as we're almost finished this page, I don't want to be pulling it out and starting again, really. Excuse my arm flapping around like a lunatic. That fly is really starting to get on my wick. I won't mind, it's a bit pouring down outside. You think it'd be hiding somewhere? Well, I suppose it is, it's hiding in here. If you've been around for a little while, you'll have seen me stitching stamps before. It's something I really enjoyed doing. And if you don't stitch all of it, as I suggested, like just doing the lines or the veins of his wings, you can see the stamp that you've done underneath it, which is really nice. I could obviously have stitched all of this stamping that we did last time, but I wanted the different things, you know. We've got lots of different threads. We've got stamping, this is fabric, and then this like felt wool, this glittery stuff. So there's lots of different things going on. So I thought I'd leave that stencil work, it's not stamping, is it? Stencil work plain. Thought that potentially stitching it would be a bit too much. Oops, missed that stitch, didn't I? Never mind. And you do have to be careful with this because it does twist up, and then it tends to break. I've found that before, but I do like it. I think it's a lovely thread. Right, I think I'm just going to go to that one, and then I'm going to start to come back the other way. Sorry if you can see my head. I'm trying to keep the stitching in the centre of the camera. Then that means I have to keep periodically leaning in to see where my stitch needs to go. This thread was part of a multi-pack from a company called, I think I showed you the packs when I got them, Oliver Twists. Beautiful threads. Gotta be honest, they weren't the cheapest, but then I don't think beautiful thread is. And you'll notice as I'm coming along, it's actually variegated, as well as having the silver glitter through it. It's variegated blues. I think I mentioned in last week's video, but I'm going to say it again in case I didn't. I was watching Christine from Create and Craft, I believe her channel's called, and she was using Inktex blocks to dye on, and they came out awesome. It's amazing. She was doing variegated thread because she twisted them all up first and then dyed them while they were twisted, several dyes, so of course she got variegation throughout the whole thing. They were super awesome. Here we go again, something I'd now like to have a play with. God, we keep going, you know, down these rabbit holes, as Corinne would say. I know in last week's video I asked if you'd seen Friday's video, and I was talking about the Just Because quilt that I've joined in, that Corinne's doing. I can't ask you about it this week because I'm filming ahead and I haven't actually filmed the next part yet, so oh dear. See, it's all weird because I'm doing Sunday's video before Friday's, but hey ho, this is what happens in the crazy world of YouTube content. Now of course at the moment it now just sort of looks like a bit of a blob, a bit of a child's drawing. I'm hoping I can improve on that. We'll see how we get on. Oops. I have now pulled that thread, that grass thread. That's better, got it back. Right. So we've done all these layers and our dragonfly is right on the top. He's the last layer going on. So if we do come to an area where he's encroaching, he's going to be on top. I did stamp it in grey so that it wasn't too obvious. I'm sort of now wishing that I'd stamped it in black, because I'm finding it quite hard to visualise where the stamping is. Probably because I'm filming and I haven't got it right under my nose, but See, it's quite faint. Yeah. Okay. So okay. So what I'm going to try and do now is I've never found that I can do satin stitch successfully, but we're going to give it a go. I've got my edge, so I'm working to my edge. I believe that's what you're supposed to do. Now I'm only doing, as I say, his body. This is quite a chunky wide wall, so hopefully it will go quite easily. Well, it doesn't look too bad, does it? So now I'm going to give myself line down there to his tail. We'll finish that off. We'll have to re-thread our needle. Let's hope it's not too problematic. Oh, I think if we can get some detail on his wings, he's going to be quite gorgeous. We'll see how we go. Right, see if we can thread this needle. See, I think the way I do that, I automatically give myself a bit of a mental block, don't I? Should just do it without thinking about it. If only. And I know you're all thinking, oh my goodness, how can one woman make threading a needle look so problematic? And I sort of agree with you actually, but there you go. Right, let's get a knot on here and get our other line done. So it goes on that corner there, doesn't it? And This is what I was saying to you about it really twists up this wool. Well, thread. Yeah, see, I've got a knot in there that I'm never going to get out, but fortunately I'm going to do satin stitch across there, so hopefully we can hide it. Right, so we're going down so I can come back to his head. So I'm thinking that my previous ongoing issues with satin stitch have potentially been down to the actual thread, because this, being a thick thread, is filling this up lovely, and it's given me a really nice three-dimensional situation here, which I'm loving because it's fitting in with my, what are they called, bulrushes. I don't know what their real names are. I'm sure one of you lovely people know. Now we have got a little bit there that hasn't got any thread in, but to be honest, I don't mind that. It sounds weird because it looks like sort of one of the divisions in his body, if that makes sense. Sorry, I'm just trying to unscrew it all. What's happened here? I've got a extra thread there. Is my thread broken? It definitely looks stringy at this end, doesn't it? That's the only trouble, I think. I think I remember that with this thread before. You have to be quite careful with it, and I'm, well, not very careful, am I? Quite rough and ready. Yeah, you can see, look, it is coming apart at the end there. That's a bit weird. Got to be really delicate with it now. Whoops. Right, I'm going to that piece off because I know that's been well and truly stitched in. Yeah, can see it's all unraveling now, look. So I'm going to break this off before it causes me a problem. Right, so we've got there we go. We've got the main part of his body done. I don't know if I'm going to get away with doing some veining in this or not. It's only one way to find out, I suppose. Do you know what I'm wondering? Can I come up there and go to there and then come up there? Yeah, I'm not much of a nature person, so oh, that doesn't look too bad. And then that one can go there. And that one can come there. And then we'll go right to the tip of that one. Oh, I'm expecting my granddaughter, I've just realised. So the door's probably going to go in a minute. It's her first day at proper school. So she wants to come and tell Nana all about her day. And Boo's obviously barking because there you go. Okay, so that was my granddaughter telling me all about her first day at proper school, as she calls it, because obviously she's been at nursery for a few years. Oh, they grow up so quickly. That's the last one now. So all three of them are at school. Right. I think I'm just going to get one more coming from that same point to come to about that point there, I think. I don't think it's a particularly good dragonfly, if I'm honest. Oh, and it's ended up sort of being in the same spot. Oh well, it's done now, isn't it? So, oh, it's not the best dragonfly, but I think it's good enough that it can be recognised as a dragonfly, if that makes sense. Now I'm going to try and marry it up the other side so that it's sort of the same. And that one went to there and then to there. And to there. And to that far point. and then to there, to there. Yeah, see, that one's different, isn't it? It's interesting. And to there. Oh, now I pulled it much too far. It's not brilliant, but it'll have to do, because I'm certainly not doing it again, that's for sure. Right, so just gonna stitch in that bit that broke as I finish off, whoops, this thread. There we go. And trim all them, and there you have my depiction of summer prompt number 2, bugs and butterflies. As always, thank you so much for joining me. Stay safe. I'll see you very soon. Ta-ta for now.